Hey, what's going on, y'all? It is Brian back with the Unstuck Sessions, and I have my friend Brian. So it's Brian and Brian. Um, and today we're going to talk about kind of the state of marketing and social media and all that other stuff. Basically, what business owners need to know going into 2026. Um, my name is Brian. I run a marketing agency that I'm shutting down. It's called I Sell Words. I'm shutting it down because I want to teach people what I know. And so I'm making my tools available. As you can see, the link to my stand store should be in the comments. But my guest, Brian, also has a marketing agency, and I'm going to let him tell a little bit about what he's got going on.
So I am also Brian, obviously, as Brian just said, but I'm also kind of shutting down, not the same way Brian is, but I'm shutting down my agency. I've grown from starting as a lowly web designer back 23 years ago, all the way to CMO level and dealing with the corporate world, right? So I'm kind of getting out of the corporate world and back into the small business world because I just found that the corporate world wasn't good in here, right? It was it was toxic, that corporate world, and it just nothing I did felt good. Um, it's big money, it's big projects, it's big contracts, and a little bit of background that I've told Brian before is I canceled a $250,000 contract to go back and work with smaller businesses because it just feels right in here. So that's kind of where I'm at. My focus is a lot on systems and operations in the marketing realm, and that's kind of where I'm at right now. So I'm working with a lot of small businesses right now,
Awesome.
and that's kind of where I've shifted to. So I too am kind of closing things down and rebooting my career life, right?
Right.
And the other thing is I'm trying to do more stuff like this. And I'm working with Brian a little bit to kind of get my face out there. I've been a behind the scenes guy for, like I said, 20 plus years. And it really is time for me to get, I'm not camera shy. I'm not any of that stuff. I don't get nervous speaking. It's just I've been so busy on the back end doing it for everybody else that it's time. And Brian kind of gave me the shove I needed. So I appreciate that.
All right. Well, I'm glad to be a help. Hey, Joshua, what's going on, man? Thanks for tuning in. Um, as you guys can see, we both have links to our stand stores. Brian's stuff is going to really be a lot of the stuff that, like the back end tools that you may not know that you're missing as a business owner to help you grow your operations and things along those lines. There's a lot of things that we assume that we have to lay our hands on a daily basis, and that's not always true. Um, and this also gives us opportunity to nerd out about like marketing stuff and tech and all the other stuff. Earlier, I was going to come on here and talk about Sony just dropped that new camera. What is it? The A7 V now. They're all the way up to that.
Yeah.
And so hopefully I can get it in my budget to get one of those because I need to replace this little what is this, a ZV-1 that I'm shooting on right now. But it just gives us opportunity to put our heads together and nerd about marketing and all the other stuff that goes along with it.
Which we can do. We've done it. We can sit and talk for 3 hours straight if you
Oh
want.
yeah.
You know what I mean? We've done it before. So
And we're doing it for y'all's benefit. So if this is something that you're interested in, go ahead and tap in, give us a like, and let us know because we'll do more of these. Well, we're kind of putting
100%.
together
Yeah.
some stuff to figure out. So here's the thing. If you're trying to get consistent with your content, I have my content to cash machine on YouTube. Really, I'm giving you a glimpse behind the scenes. You've seen some of the thumbnails where I'm like, my thumbnails suck. Nobody watches my stuff. Like, I'm very transparent about that. And I want to show you how the sausage is made. And I know people say nobody wants to see how the sausage is made, but for business owners, we kind of need to know. And
Yep.
so I also have my school community where I'm going to teach you how to record yourself. And that's really the pitch. If you want to learn how to record yourself as a business owner, the school community is available. I still have lifetime access available for $97. That's probably going to be shutting down this weekend, and we'll be moving to a different pricing model. But I want you to record yourself, but we're going to tell you why you need to. That's one of the topics, is why you need to be out there. And I think that's the top of mind for both of us to get started with. So we're talking about trends in marketing, Brian. What is the trend that you're seeing? Because I think we're on the same page with this. We just talked about this. What's
Yeah.
the trend that you're seeing that business owners need to be doing in 2026?
So what's working right now in 2025 and will be working into 2026. I can later we'll talk about like my outlook on 2026,
Mhm.
but right now what's working really well and will continue to work for the foreseeable future is the number one thing is real content. People are noticing fake AI videos, faceless videos. People are getting immune to that.
Mhm.
They're getting fatigued from it, right? So short personal video is what's working right now. Like getting in front of the camera yourself as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, 30 to 60-second clips where you're speaking directly to the camera as you're talking to one person.
Yep. And that's what I'm seeing. I think the example I used the other day was, look at what happened with Campbell Soup, right? For all these years, Campbell Soup
It's wild.
has been a
Yeah.
faceless brand. And the time where they ended up becoming a brand with a face was, and this was kind of an out of context clip, but it was a very bad look for, was it the president, one of the presidents of
Yeah.
operations or
Somebody
whatnot?
in leadership. Yeah.
Yeah, getting up there and railing on, poor people buying our stuff and we're 3D printing our meat and all kinds of other stuff that, if you're running a giant soup company, that is not what you want to be discussing in front of people.
Right.
And the damage that he probably did to his brand is immediate and it's going to be lasting, especially when you're saying you're 3D printing the meat in
Yeah.
Campbell Soup.
I
Nobody
only
wants to
mess
hear
with
that.
tomato soup. I only mess with the tomato. So
See, the gumbo had me in a chokehold, and I'm like, this sausage might be 3D printed, and I don't know how to feel about
turns
that.
out it is.
So, um, but that's what we're talking about. If you do not get out in front of your business and create a persona for your business, create identity for your business, somebody's going to create identity for your business.
Mm-hmm.
And it may not be the identity that you want associated with your business. And so people are, and I've found people are more likely and prone to forgive mistakes if they know there's an actual human being behind the brand. Like we give grace
100%.
to people, but faceless mega corporations and faceless brands, that doesn't work. And I've seen so many business owners, so many small business owners, and this is kind of, I don't want to take a shot at some marketing agencies, but I'm kind of doing it. Just, I mean,
I will.
yeah. A lot of these marketing agencies have these small businesses out here marketing themselves like they're gigantic corporations. And when you go to their social media, it's soulless. When you go to their, you go to their Facebook, it's the soulless, bland, tasteless thing. And then when you meet people, when you meet the people behind these companies in real life, they're energetic and they're passionate and everything that their social media is not.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a problem. And a lot of marketing agencies will say, well, we're trying to get you out here and looking professional and everything. People don't want professional as more than they want real.
Right.
They want to know that, like, if you are running a photography studio, or if you're running a bakery or something, they want to know that there's an artist behind the scenes creating what they're purchasing. What they don't
Yeah.
want is this bland, generic, stock image laden,
Just vapid,
soulless, just,
like
yeah, vapid.
vapidness. Just,
Ugh.
just, yeah.
And too many business owners I've seen got pulled down that rabbit hole and they're wondering why they aren't connecting with this current generation of buyers. Because, I mean, it's shifting, guys. Like, look at who is consuming a lot of social media. TikTok is starting to eat up some market share. I think Facebook is still at the top. YouTube is a close second. They kind of jump back and forth. TikTok's eating up market share, and these are the buyers.
100%. And like slowly, not I shouldn't even say slowly. Relatively speaking, it's quick. But uh, the younger generations, I'm 45. The younger generations, the 20s to the 30s, they're searching for, plumber Omaha, Nebraska in TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
They're not on Google.
Right.
And guess what? You're not doing TikTok. You're not doing Reels. You're not doing Facebook or anything or anything like that. YouTube Shorts. You're they're not going to be chosen by this younger generation as they progress in their lives and their careers and they have more money and they're going to spend it and they're going to be searching on Instagram and TikTok. Instagram and TikTok are the number one social search engines right now.
Right. And they're gonna remember, like, if you're showing up as the plumber that gave them information on how to clear um a hair clog out of their sink without having to call the plumber, and you're also the plumber that did the funny meme that they remember that they share with their friends, who are they gonna call first?
Yeah.
Who are they gonna reach out to first?
It's a
And
meme
so,
generation. You made them
yeah,
laugh with a meme, they're going to remember you.
right. And yes, they're paying for service. Yes, but if you can deliver that high quality service and engage them in a way and meet them where they're at, they're more likely to do business with you. Like,
Yeah.
um, and I think people don't understand. I look at my kids. I watch how my kids consume media.
Mm-hmm.
A commercial is a foreign thing to them. Like we have, like we cut the cord a long time ago, and so we have over the air television channels that come into our house. They don't understand commercials. They don't understand why. Why can't I skip? And I got a 15 and 16-year-old. They are like, why can't I, Dad, just skip this commercial? I can't because it's live.
Yeah.
Well, it's live on YouTube TV too, but I can't because it's coming through the antenna. What do you mean? And so they don't want to consume anything that looks like a commercial. It used to be a big deal when I was a kid to sit down and watch Super Bowl commercials with your family. That was part of the experience.
Yep.
My kids have no interest in that shit at all. They don't want to
Nope.
see it. They don't care.
What's a commercial? I mean, they don't even say the word commercial anymore. They call it an ad.
Yeah.
You know what
They
I mean?
they don't want to see ads.
Let's get this ad.
My daughter used to get in trouble because she found out if you're watching Facebook and you turn on airplane mode, they can't show you ads. She figured that out when she was 6. And so
That's funny.
And it's something she still does at 16. And so they're like, Bray, we're trying to call you. Oh, it's on airplane mode. You're watching videos and you don't want to catch the ad. Okay, I get it. So this generation doesn't want to see something that looks like an ad.
No.
If it smells like an ad, looks like an ad, they're instantly not engaging with it. And so some of you guys are still doing the traditional, television spots and everything, which is fine. They'll still make money.
Yeah.
You're just not going to capture their kids. You may capture parents, you may capture grandparents, but you're not going to capture a lot of these kids. They're going to look on social media and see it because they don't watch like these kids don't even watch TV. Do you see that with your kids? Like, do they watch TV?
They do not watch TV. No. The only thing my kids watch, and it's only my older one who's a diehard Eagles fan like me, we watch live sports. That's the only thing.
Right.
And she'll go do something. If there's an ad on, if it's halftime or whatever, she's gone. She'll go back to her room. She'll get on her phone and do whatever. She's gone until halftime's over. She's not watching any commercials. She's not doing any of that stuff. So
I have a nephew who's 22 years old. I think he's 22. And he'll sit there and he'll have his phone and he'll be sitting there watching like anime and stuff. Brian, you still with me?
Yeah. Can you hear me still?
I can still hear you.
I'll fix it. Go ahead. Keep talking.
But he'll sit there and he'll watch anime with the little kickstand on his phone. And he'll sit there and like, Antoine, why don't you just go watch it on TV? Nope. He's comfortable sitting there over this tiny phone screen watching a television show. That would absolutely drive me insane. But that's how my nephew watches. That's how my nieces watch. That's how my kids consume television shows. Yeah. And so if you guys are still locked into this traditional ad-based, ad-driven television stuff, you're hurting yourself. You're limiting your opportunities. You're limiting how people can engage with you, how people can see you, and things along those lines. And so I think it's important, even if you're not comfortable. If you're not comfortable with being the face of your company, find somebody who is.
Right.
And put them in front of a camera and let them humanize your brand a little bit. Because the other side, what we're talking about, the other side is because if people don't want to see ads on television, they definitely don't want your ad to interrupt their scrolling. They don't want your ad jumping on their social media and interrupting what they're doing. And so you have to get more, you got to get a little bit smarter with your marketing message and how you're getting people to gravitate towards you.
And I would throw in there, like, don't be generic. Like, don't get on there and say, we have a quality product at affordable price.
Mm-hmm.
No, you got to do something find out the trends, find out what people are doing on the the platforms that you're on, find out what's working, what audios are trending, that kind of stuff, and
Yeah.
go that direction. It's not like it used to be where you get on there and I don't know. We talked about it a little bit. You can't be vapid. You can't be just
Right.
plain Jane and spit out platitudes and all that stuff. People see right through that. That shit don't work anymore, in
It
my
doesn't.
opinion.
And show up. Here's the thing, because this is the easiest way. This is the prompt that I have in my school community for our videos this week. Um, Give a common misconception about your industry or area of expertise. Most people believe X, but the reality is Y. That's information that people be useful. If you're going to show up, provide value to somebody. They will reciprocate. It may not be immediate, but if you give them information they can actually use as opposed to just trying to overtly sell them stuff, that will go a long way in the content that you make on social media. Now,
I can give you an answer to that, to your school community question right now. For me,
yeah,
as my business, my agency, small businesses are spending more on marketing than ever,
mm-hmm,
but their confidence in the marketing and how it's done is the lowest it's ever been.
yeah, right,
Right.
right,
So that'd be my answer to your school community question, where it's like, you know, the strategy of what you're doing and understanding. We touched on this a little bit before the call, that they need to learn from us why. I mean, you expand on that a little bit,
yeah,
because you were the one talking about it, but why you had a buddy tell you that was
yeah,
saying they need to learn why
yeah.
they need
My
your services.
It was my other friend Brian. I know a lot of Brians, and so
That's weird. Yeah, me too.
my other friend Brian was saying, "Hey Brian, you're brilliant, but and I think you've helped me out a ton, and I know what you do, but people don't know why they need to learn how to record themselves. Business owners don't have any concept of why. They think that they need to, but they don't know exactly why. And so you're providing the how to record themselves, but not exactly why they need to be taking that step." And he's like, you need to start selling the why. You need to start selling the why. What benefit are you providing to them? What transformation are you providing to them in their lives with your business, with your product, with your services? What transformation or what is the outcome? It's got to be centered on them. It can't be about, oh, we got 60 years in business and we got all these Better Business Bureau scam things that like on the wall and all that other stuff.
Yep.
It can't be that. That doesn't tell them how your service is going to change their life. How your pizza is going to be the best pizza they've ever had in their life, and you'll want to come back.
There
Um,
is, talking about pizza. You already know my infatuation with pizza, but I
yeah,
follow these people, Crispy's Pizza, and they've gone viral on social media because the son, the youngest generation, he's third or fourth generation pizza maker at this place in New York. He's a young kid. His dad still works there. His grandpa's, I think, passed away or whatever, but they have gone viral with the content he's starting to push out, vertical content of Crispy's Pizza. And all it is these guys making stuff, and they're talking, they're chit chatting,
yeah.
they got their little New York accent, and it's fun to watch. So I don't know where I was going with that, but
It's entertaining.
it's entertaining.
They're providing entertainment value. They're also showing that there are real people behind there. Like
Hmm.
when we said my prompt, most small business owners think that they need expensive equipment to get started recording themselves. When in reality, all they need is a phone. Your phone is has a world class camera built right into it. It has a microphone set built into it. This is all you need. That's all you need, and that's probably what they're utilizing is a phone. The thing that's taken, I have my little Osmo 3, which is a lot of content creators are using that DJI stuff.
That's what I'm on right now.
Yeah,
Is the Osmo Pocket.
you don't need this fancy rig and all this other stuff to get started. You just need to get started and understand your first videos are going to suck and you're not going to like them. And that's fine. That's part of the process.
Hmm.
But what they're selling is the vibe. They're selling the vibe of being part of the family. Um, Gary Vee talks about dog face and the ocean spray ad. Like that was his favorite thing to talk about. Well, there's a layer of truth behind it. That dog face ocean spray ad where he's out there riding the longboard, vibing, drinking ocean spray, that sold more ocean spray than anything they've ever done. And there's no call to action. There's no real direct drink Ocean Spray. They're selling the vibe, and people want the
Mm-hmm.
vibe of just being out on the boardwalk on your skateboard and just
Yep.
vibing out in the sun, drinking juice. And that,
Side note on that. Side
yeah,
note on that. That song got famous again with the younger generation. Dreams by oh my god, Fleetwood Mac,
Fruit Mac, yeah.
and it got so popular that she sold her rights to that album or that the song album or song catalog or whatever for millions and millions of dollars, and it wouldn't have been worth that if it wasn't now modern day popular.
And
So
that's the benefit. And so also when Ocean Spray's looking for somebody to plug it, now you have somebody who's Fleetwood Mac. You have Fleetwood Mac who may be willing to step up and say, "Hey, let's do this again."
right, yeah,
And so I forgot who it is from Fleet. I always forget the names from Fleetwood Mac.
Stevie Nicks.
Stevie Nicks, because I always get them crossed up. I think it was it their no, is it their daughters or mom? Anyway, Stevie Nicks sold her like she sold the music rights. And so for people who don't know what that means, because I've talked to people who don't really understand what that means. When you sell your music rights, you're basically leasing your music to companies to use. And you're basically taking yourself out as the middleman for setting up the deals and negotiating stuff. You still retain control. Most times you still retain ownership of it. You still retain who can utilize your stuff, but you're basically leasing out your catalog to a third party company who just sets up the deal so that you can get your royalties. And it's a limited term. More times than not, they get it back, and then they get to decide if they're going to sell their music rights again. That created a business transaction for her. It created some transformative for her that she wasn't even thinking about. The music rights are also why Hall and Oates don't speak anymore and are suing each other.
Yeah.
So it's a double-edged sword. What we're saying is you don't have to put a lot of huge thought behind it just to get started. Just sell the vibe. Show people what you do behind the scenes. I always reference Scotty Kilmer. Scotty Kilmer on YouTube. He's got like 2 million subscribers. He is no flash. All he does is just work on cars in his driveway, and he tells you what cars are pieces of crap and what cars are good. And that's what he does.
Is that the crazy old guy?
Yeah.
Is he a crazy old guy? Yeah, that guy's hilarious.
And he's like, this car is a piece of crap. Don't buy it. And that's kind of his MO. But then he'll teach you how to do a brake job. It'll teach you, different things that fail and different points of failure on cars and things along those lines. He's built a 2 million person following, and people pay him to work on their cars. He's got inbound marketing forever because those videos still get viewed.
100%.
And it's all content that he shot himself. I'm huge into the barbecue scene. There's one guy, Jeremy Oder, him and his wife. His wife runs the camera. He just does barbecue and briskets. Now he's selling his own smokers. So what we're saying, guys, is the opportunity is available, but it's not going to come with this traditional view of how marketing works. You have to understand the landscape of social media and play around in it. And, you don't have to show parts of your life that you don't want to show. And I think people misconstrue that all the time.
So there's a guy I'm in a networking group on Fridays that this guy is, I think he does medicinal compounding, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And I did a presentation for my business or whatever last week, and he came up to me afterward. This is the first time I've ever heard someone say it like this, because he was usually I get, I just don't know about that, making videos and getting on the internet. And, I'm not a Facebook guy. That's what they always say. Uh-huh. He started that way, but he's like, I get it. It'll work. I know it will work for me, but I just don't see it. I don't understand it. I don't know how to even get started.
Yeah.
So I don't know if people are starting to open up, or it's just this one guy and that's, a random occurrence, but like it needs to happen, right? You need to learn to play in this game. It's what it is. There's a quick formula that I use for everybody that if I talking to somebody for 30, 60 seconds, I say, it's a quick formula here. You get on the camera, you film yourself, problem, quick story, simple next step.
Yep.
That's it.
Yeah.
30, 60 seconds. You can be in and out. Post that. And Bryan, you know this more than anybody. It will get better. Reps. It is no different than working out.
Yeah.
As soon as you do 100 of these videos, you look at the 100th one, and you look at the first one, they'll be night and day. You'll cringe at your first one.
Right.
But you can't get to 100 without doing 100.
You got to start with number one.
Yeah.
And my piece of advice to him, I know who you're talking about. My piece of advice to him is same thing. My little cousin was up here this summer. She runs a acting and modeling school, and so she was trying to do some branding stuff and whatnot. And so the same piece of advice I had to her is what I'm going to tell him. Your target audience is you 5 or 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
That's who you're speaking to. What would you want somebody to tell you? Because that's where you start your audience. It'll start growing and expanding. It'll start getting easier to have those conversations. But you start telling people, you start giving that information of, formulations and setting up the business structure to do the compounding and stuff like that. But people are craving that behind the scenes information because they're like, oh, so it's on the up and up. There's a real person doing this. There's no scam tied to it. They're seeing what your process is.
Mm-hmm.
And they're connecting with what your process is. I watch people rebuild engines all the time. I hate working on cars.
I've never worked on a car, but I watch it too.
Yeah.
I watch all them channels.
I watched a video of a guy who was taking different. He owns a gun. He's a gunsmith, and he makes custom guns for people. And he has a gun range, and he goes out, and every video is, will this stop these caliber bullets? And he goes through all the different guns, and he has a little dummy that's set up. And so the one I saw that pulled me into his circle of the doom scrolling of all of his content was, will these 500 reams of paper stop this kind of bullet? Wow. I have no use for that information whatsoever. There's no place in my life that information helps or benefits me or changes my life. But it was fascinating. And I watched all of his content because watched a lot of his content. I know that he's a gunsmith. I know that he makes custom guns and he has his own gun range. If I lived next to him and lived around him, that would be enough. If I had an interest to reach out to a gunsmith for a custom job, he'd be the one.
Right.
He'd be the one I would check with first. He made content that just showed who he was and what he does in his downtime. And I think people don't understand that's powerful. You don't have to have a very strong marketing message if you're honest and say, this is who I am. And you can determine how much they see. You don't want to show your kids, don't show your kids.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to show your face, don't show your face. You can do faceless, just your voice stuff. You don't want to show this employee, then hire somebody to be the spokesperson for your company. Auto dealers do it all the time. The H&H twins that we see on television, they aren't even from here. They're from Louisiana. They do this for all of those Chevy dealers.
Yeah.
So it's about putting yourself out there and figuring out what message you want to put out there. That's all. And if you 100%. If you have a teenager in your life, they would absolutely jump at the opportunity to market for you. They would absolutely jump. I get to make TikTok videos and get paid for it.
Okay.
Sign me up tomorrow.
That's every teenager's dream. I want to be an influencer.
Right. And so I think that's the opportunity that people aren't seeing in 2026. And that's a big one. Like, that's a very big one. It's not being present on every social media platform. It's picking the one you want to attack the most.
100%. I was literally just thinking that and just going to say that you don't have to worry about, you don't have to oversaturate yourself with all the different platforms. Mm-hmm. Pick the one that your audience is at. So, I mean, that's not hard. I mean, if it's, I don't know, 40 and up, do some Facebook, but TikTok also works.
Yeah.
If it's 30 to 25, do Instagram and TikTok. You can see a pattern here. If it's younger than that, do just TikTok.
Yeah.
Right. And then I would focus. I always say shoot for TikTok, shoot your video for TikTok, and just post it everywhere else. And don't worry about those other ones. If you get stuff from them, get stuff from them. But TikTok is I mean, you say what you mean. You can spin on that a little bit too, Brian. But like TikTok is where it's at, I think, right
And
now.
I think because with Larry Ellison buying TikTok and Oracle controlling it, there's going to be a more emphasis on how TikTok uses its algorithm. Its algorithm isn't really based on it's not based on who you follow. It's based on what your interests are at the time. And that's how they serve stuff up. I always go with, pick a social media platform, and then YouTube is kind of my base because I treat YouTube like free video storage.
100%.
I mean, I know it's not optimal, but it saves me a lot of money. I can, if there's a video I want to save and I don't want the public to see it, I just make it unlisted and put it on YouTube, and I can access that video whenever I want to. But and the other benefit to it is YouTube potentially has the biggest audience. So if your video breaks containment, because I do think there's a little bit of containment that goes on, but if it breaks containment and escapes out into the actual open internet, you're going to get calls. I've had people reach out to me for businesses and stuff and services that aren't even in the country because they saw my video somewhere. And so I think that would be my strategy. You pick your social media platform, and then I would use YouTube as my kind of video storage place. And
that's where I spend 99% of my social media time, on YouTube.
Yep.
That's where I live, basically, for everything.
And I think they said that Shorts is overtaken TikTok.
Has it? I believe that.
And I don't like Shorts as much as TikToks, but Shorts is overtaking TikTok. And I think the landscape for Shorts is so recent that it's hard to come up with any hard and fast rules for Shorts because YouTube doesn't even know where Shorts are going. Yeah. But just pick a platform, y'all. Everything's on the table. Only one I don't necessarily, and I've been off of this. Even when Jack Dorsey was running it, I've never recommended Twitter or X to a client unless they're like a writer or something, just because the audience over there, if your kids don't like ads,
right?
The Twitter /X audience, they despise this, a psychotic hatred of advertisement, and they will absolutely bury you over there.
Yeah.
And so I don't use TikTok. Not TikTok. I don't recommend Twitter or X, but any one of these work. I'm learning how to master Snapchat. Snapchat does not make sense for my brain. I don't understand it, but
not a fan.
It's something I got to learn how to use just to make my marketing bag a little bit deeper. And so
what's crazy about Snapchat is I find my my kids use it. They don't use text messaging. They use Snapchat messaging.
Okay.
Like they're not texting their friends. Everything is done. That's their messaging platform of choice. Whereas like we grew up with I'm aging myself here, but AOL.
Yeah. AOL Messenger. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's what they live on. And it's crazy to me. And I don't even have a Snapchat account anymore. I know that's crazy to hear from a marketing guy, but I'm with you on X. I'm with you on X.
Yeah, no. I got one. I don't know what to do with Snapchat. And X is just crash television. Like I'll keep up with sports scores, and I have this weird perverse interest because I do believe that NFL Twitter and NBA Twitter are the perfect centers of negativity in the galaxy. And so especially Eagles Twitter. Eagles Twitter is amazing. It is one of the most amazing Twitter feeds ever because they hate everybody. Yeah. and it gets spread around, and it's really fun. But it's a fun and a toxic way where you kind of
if you're in media, journalism, it doesn't matter what industry, sports or whatever. You can go live on X. It's okay. That's probably where it's where your audience is. Mm-hmm. And I do use. This is a little side quest here. I do use Grok AI.
Okay.
If I need to the second data, like to the up to the second data, it's the newest. It pulls from all Twitter feeds from the whole entire platform, and it's the only one that is up to date that quickly. But again, I'm using Grok for industry news or what's going on XYZ, you know. So I use it for that, but I don't typically get on the platform and post anymore.
Gotcha. And one of the things is for even for aspiring business owners, if you're watching, the opportunity like on like a TikTok is phenomenal because there are people like me. I'm a date myself. Um, when I was growing up, my mom used to watch QVC as kind of her default. Like that was her like comfort channel was QVC.
Yeah.
Now QVC is basically TikTok. Live selling on TikTok is an absolute opportunity for people, and I
People
don't think
are
people they're
people are
killing it.
killing it. Oh
They're
my God, they're killing
they're
it.
absolutely destroying it, selling other people's products and getting affiliate money, and that's the game. And they may not even use other people's products. They may not have any, they may not have any experience with it, but they're absolutely selling the hell out of other people's stuff, and they're making a ton of money. People are selling their own stuff and making a ton of money. People are using stuff like, was it Whatnot?
Mm-hmm.
And they go on there, and if they got a comic book shop or a collectible shop, they are live selling this stuff.
Yeah.
And, yeah, they still got to handle fulfillment and all the other stuff. They're killing it. It's an
Yeah.
opportunity. It's a low cost barrier entry point. But I think the future of TikTok is probably going to be more entwined with that live selling. It's only a
Mm-hmm.
matter of time before some car manufacturer jumps up there and is trying to live sell cars on TikTok.
100%. And then I don't know if it's brand new or if I didn't notice it all year, but I just watched the last Eagles game was on Amazon Prime,
Mhm.
and the commercials are going during the commercial breaks, and there is a little link that pops up on the
Yeah,
screen that you can click because you're watching. I'm on a Fire Stick. I'm watching the game on Amazon, and it'll go right to my account. I can buy whatever's on the screen
yeah.
for the commercial. And I've never noticed it before. Maybe it's been on there, but that's wild to me that I can
It's
just click and
it's
your account
crazy.
gets shipped to your house next day.
Yeah, they're trying to integrate. They're trying to make it they're trying to make ads as seamless as possible because interruption based marketing is taking a downturn. And the crazy part is, and I can tell you the arbitrage. I'm about to throw a lot of marketing nerd gibberish at y'all. Um, the arbitrage on Facebook ads used to be amazing. Like you could get, you could, I swear to God, I was advertising something. I paid $50 for an ad and got a $5,000 return. That don't exist anymore.
No.
That doesn't exist. It's super expensive. And so what happens is on like a Facebook or something, if you're doing traditional advertising, you're competing with people who have almost unlimited marketing budgets. And what they're doing is they're dumping so much money into bad creative. But even though it's bad creative, it's still inflating the market.
Mm-hmm.
And so they shoot something that's terrible, that's not engaging. It's ad that nobody wants to see, but then they'll dump millions of dollars into it. And what that does for you as a small business owner is if you're trying to do Facebook ads, the cost of getting somebody to see your ad in front of this crappy, terrible ad is through the roof. And you can't optimize your way out of it. You can't target your way out of it. It used to be
No.
you could. It's a lot harder to do. And that's what you guys are up against. And so instead of focusing on that and the paid side of things, why not build an organic audience that's already aligned with you?
Right. Right
And
now, video, like, so staying on that same thing with the ads on Facebook, if you're doing videos and reels, those are money makers now because they get seen without spending money, right?
yeah,
They're getting priority over, as far as organic content goes, they get priority over everything else. Posting something, like just posting it to your page, is, I read an article 2 weeks ago that said it's almost down to zero now for your followers to even see you.
yeah,
0%. You have to boost posts for $5, $10, $15 just for the people that follow you to see your stuff.
yeah,
So use the platforms for what they're pushing. So Facebook is pushing reels,
yes,
right? So do reels. And I did a little thing before Black Friday. I put out about 7 days of videos,
Hmm.
and I got most of my traffic from because I posted the videos to my page because I wanted them saved there, but I also posted them to Reels, and I got more eyes on Reels than I did on the page posts. It's just proof in the pudding that's what you need to be doing. Videos
Yeah,
where it's at.
and that's the thing. They're pushing reels. They're pushing anything that has a visual, like video based element. So
Hmm.
memes, gifs, photos, whatever, anything that stops the eye, they're gonna push if it's interesting. But reels is what they're prioritizing, and Facebook has not been shy about it. They do want to be television, um,
Hmm.
regardless of how poorly they are constructed to do that. And I'll be honest with you, they're not really super constructive to be a television provider, but that's what they keep going for.
Yeah.
Um, it's a weird thing, but Facebook values reels, so you need to make a reel that's going to escape containment faster than just your generic post. You know,
Now, I
Yep.
am going to throw one thing in the mix here that might be shocking to both you and everybody else. The number one marketing channel still to this day is email.
Yep, I knew that one.
Email lists, emails, lists, email lists, email lists. All you retail people out there, you have lists ready to go. You just don't like, you may not even think of it that way.
Right.
But if you have email lists, you can print money.
Hmm.
It's the channel where small businesses see. I mean, they're saying, and this is on the lower end. I think this is being conservative. $36 for every dollar spent. That's the return. 36 times return on email, and it has to be done right. You need, if you don't know anything about email marketing, you need somebody in there to help you do that. But like,
Right.
my point is that's still the number one ROI in marketing, which is crazy to me.
Well, and I think it is also because, and this is just my conjecture. I think email marketing shows a little bit higher intent. Like if you're on somebody's email list, you intend more times than not, you intend to be on somebody's email list. You've seen something, or you subscribed to something, or you submitted your email to be on their list. There's a higher level of intent. And so you're dealing with the audience of people that have kind of in the direct response marketing have raised their hand, self-selected, and said, hey, I want to be marketed to.
That's why
And
Substacks and all those ones are so big now.
yeah.
Where that's only the last few years that got big.
Oh, I forgot about that. Substack is an amazing opportunity. I'm actually building out a couple of different platforms on Substack. Substack is amazing. And don't be shocked in 10, 15 years if Substack gets acquired by YouTube or
Mhm.
ends up becoming a competitor to YouTube, because Substack, basically it's a way to build your email list with other media. And so people are crushing it on Substack
Oh,
because they
100%.
they they generate these newsletters. And so we're going to pivot a little bit into this because you're the AI expert. Um,
So
and
I didn't mean
so,
to deviate us
oh,
off
that's
into yeah,
that's
but
perfect.
go for it.
So one of the things I do for one of my clients is he'll interview his guests, have his podcast and everything. I will take the transcript from that podcast, feed it into the one I use is Manus. Feed it into Manus. It will give me, and I'll say, help me generate a newsletter outline for this. And it'll take this conversation that he's having with the CEO of a tech company and turn it into an outline that I can rework into a newsletter and publish it. And that was the strategy I was using on LinkedIn. We're absolutely killing it. I haven't posted on that LinkedIn. Like we took a break from posting actively on that LinkedIn um, for a while, and we're still getting returns off of it. And when I say returns, offers, 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 job offers, offers to consult and all this other stuff. But I take the transcript, feed it into the AI, say, help me create a newsletter. And then I give me outline, and then I write out the newsletter and post it. And people want those insights. And I'm taking that to Substack and seeing what we can create with that. Because
Yeah,
Substack gives you audio notes, it gives you um, video that you can upload. You could post your podcast on there, and your followers are your followers. I think that Substack is going to be an amazing opportunity that people don't know about. And it's going to be somebody's secret weapon. A lot of the people in the tech space are moving over there and they're building out their email lists there.
100%. Yeah. So sorry to deviate into email. I just don't want people to sleep on it.
Oh yeah. So Bryan, what opportunities are you seeing? Because we talk about, and it's one of the things, because me and Bryan have done presentations about like AI, and we're kind of coming up with the second one. Um, there's different tiers of people who use AI, and the biggest tier of people that use AI is you punch in a question, you get an answer kind of use.
Right.
Bryan is really good at actually utilizing AI on the back end to help businesses grow themselves and seek out opportunities. And so, what opportunities with AI do you think companies are missing out on?
I think the way they think about it is, I hate to say so blatantly, like they think about it incorrectly,
Yep.
but it's not something that's going to do a lot for your business, in the sense like it's not going to work for you. You should treat AI kind of like an intern or an employee. It's
Right.
not your identity. AI can't give your identity to everybody,
Mm-hmm.
right? Let it handle the grunt work, the repetitive stuff. I mean, that's what Bryan was alluding to. What I do is I help people get rid of the crap, and owners get rid of the crap that give back their time, the repetitive tasks, so you can handle the real work, so you can get in front of the camera, right?
Mm-hmm.
And do that and have time to do that. Because everybody says I don't have time. You do, but I don't want to deviate.
Right.
But AI should be a tool and an intern and an employee for you to help you organize things, help you um, handle the grunt work. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean that's what it's good for. And if you know how to use it, if you know, there's lots of stuff you can do with it. That for example, for this episode that I'm talking to Bryan here with, I just took an outline of notes I had it organize it, kind of revamp it a little bit, and then I turned it into an HTML file so I could easily have a click and find all my notes and stuff on my web browser. I
Right.
did that, and I did that because I know how to use it and I've been utilizing it for so long. I did it in 5 minutes.
Right.
I mean, some people would look at this and go, "This is crazy. You have this click button, nice design website." It's not a website; it's just a file that AI built for me, and I'm able to not have to worry about what to talk about, not have to think. Right?
Right.
It's the grunt work that would normally 5 years ago this would take me 4 hours to do.
Yeah. And you have a personal you have a VA work on it or something, or
100%.
you would be paying with your own time. One of the things and so I have these prompts that I put together, like prompts I was commonly using within my agency, um, and I'm selling those on my stand store. If you guys are interested, I have all my prompts available on my stand store as a bundle. The way I look at it is, my old life, I used to manage residential facilities, and I had a staff of almost 50 people across 24/7 shift. Okay. I think what happens with AI is people get in there and they just use the simplest instruction to get the thing done. And then the output is garbage. The output is full of lies, it's inaccurate. It doesn't really answer your question or anything. And I think what people don't understand, and this is going to be the differentiator as we move forward, is AI becomes more ubiquitous. I talk to people in Silicon Valley. AI is becoming ubiquitous. They're expecting people out in Silicon Valley to take tasks and give it to AI and remove that off their plate. Like that's what CEOs are expecting now. The people that are going to move ahead with AI as your kind of virtual assistant are going to be the people that know how to put together their prompts and
Mhm.
give good instructions to the AI. And the thing I've learned when I was running my program was, um, the quality of instruction that I gave to my staff created the quality of outputs. It improved the quality of their work. And I think that's going to be the next stage. Like you get into the baby AI stuff. Hey, answer this question. Hey, do this, do that. But as you get more complicated, and I could show you, I will actually, matter of fact, give me a second. I will actually show you guys one of my prompts that I've kind of built for myself. And you guys get to see how complex this prompt is. But by putting that level of complexity in that prompt, it saves me hours every week.
100%.
And I think that's going to be the graduation of AI. Like people are going to graduate from that basic level where they're utilizing for really rudimentary tasks to absolutely complex tasks with multiple instructions and things like that. I think that's going to be the differentiator. I think that's the thing that businesses don't really know, because all they see it AI as now is, give me a social media post,
Right.
as opposed
Rewrite this
to,
email for me. I mean,
yeah,
which even rewrite this email for me is a little more advanced than most people are using it for. But I can give you an example of what I do on almost a daily basis. I just did it yesterday. So
go for it.
I do discovery audits, discovery calls with customers. I did one yesterday. It's about 3 hours of audio, right? Because they're super deep dive audits of everything in the business, because I do marketing, operations, sales, the whole everything.
Mm-hmm.
I take that audio recording, I give it to AI. I say, I need you to outline this. Give me the ins and outs. Give me all the goods from this. I have my notes as well that I took. I add those in. So I make a text file, all this stuff, so it has context. And then I know one of the fixes, or what I call them fixes, but one of the projects that I'm going to do for this client is a website, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I build websites with AI now. I think it's stupid to waste your time doing it any other way. If it's just a website and it's not like a store or something that needs, it's not a web app or anything like that, you just build it with AI.
Low leverage.
And
Do low leverage things with AI.
so I take all that text file. It's massive amounts of text, 3 hours of audio plus all my notes. I say, use this as your context and give me a website. That's all I'd say. And it builds a website in 5 minutes. Done, ready to be used. There's tweaks here. I won't lie to anybody out there. There's little tweaks you have to make, but that's the name of the game. That's how I utilize it on a daily basis. That saves me. I mean, that would take me, doing a discovery call 10 years ago would take me a week to go through all the notes, my notes, listening back at the audio, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, going, what did I say again? All that. It would take me a week to get a contract written up with, these are, to present back to the customer. I can do it in a day. I'll turn it around that day now. So use AI for research, summarizing calls, drafting content, and creating variations of things. You keep the humans on strategy, on the camera, and actual customer conversations.
Yeah. And
that's your winning combo.
And anything that requires a higher level of thinking or some creativity, keep the person, you keep the person's hands on it. They use AI as a supplementary tool, not replacing their brain. And I think that's the gap that we're getting into, where a lot of people are trying to use it to replace their brain. I've used AI like in my community, and I don't know how many people have utilized this. I've created I have an entire little app that will create videos for, like, give you all the video ideas for YouTube and give you the outline, spit out an outline and everything for you. I've created that. I've created things that help you figure out, if you're coming from this kind of background, how can you turn this into a side hustle? And it will tell you what skills that you have and give you a list of side hustles that you can absolutely do. Like I've used AI to build little web apps that do that stuff. And I don't think people know how much time that saves on a daily basis, where I don't have to work from scratch every single time. I have one right now on my stand store. Pick the right social media platform tool. Tells you what social media platform you need to be on and what kind of content you need to post on it. I did that, whipped that up as a web app, did a little bit of going through the lines and changing some code here and there, but it was functional by the time I pushed publish on it. And it took me in total, maybe an hour or two of work.
Yeah.
And I don't think people know the opportunity that's there. Business owners, especially, you can outsource a lot of stuff. Like Bryan always talks about, utilizing social media to utilizing AI to sit on top of your CRM to re-engage clients that haven't engaged with you or bought from you in a while. things that are time consuming but are easy tasks that you can outsource to somebody. It's kind of how you can use AI. And Brian's an expert to reach out to if you want to learn how to put that system into your business.
Yeah, not that I'm here to like plug a bunch of stuff,
Yeah.
but like my stand store has all these little fixes on them. That's what I call projects and things I do with my clients. I call them fixes because I kind of brand myself as the business mechanic,
Yep.
right? So these are super cheap things. They're more of a DIY, individual specific fix, right? And they're really cool to like to go through as a DIY thing because it helps you fix this specific thing. Like this one I'm looking at right now is a foot traffic fix, right?
Yep.
It goes through a 5-point check system where you can kind of utilize and score yourself, and then it'll give you some prompts with it. So you can, and they're detailed prompts that now give you an output that is not garbage and something you can implement, right? That's the idea behind it, and that's kind of what Brian's saying here is that I like the way you formatted it and said it's like you have to speak to AI like you would speak to an employee.
Yep.
That is how AI. That's how you get the best out of it.
Yep.
Treat it that way. You wouldn't walk up to a brand new employee and say, "Give me 10 social media posts."
Right.
You wouldn't say that.
You would tell
say,
them,
go around, find out some stuff that, do a little research and find out what makes sense for our coffee shop here in, Omaha, Nebraska. Something like that. I don't know. That's what you do. You talk to an employee that way.
Let me show you guys, because I'll pull it up here. I got one of my prompts that I made. It's free on my stand store. All you got to do is join my mailing list. It's free on there. And I know I'm keep plugging stuff, but that's kind of, it's tools that we made to help you guys. I made to help you guys out. So here's one of my prompts. And this is kind of my social media calendar prompt. Okay. 7-day social media calendar. And I want you to, I'm not going to read the whole thing to you, but I want you to see how detailed this prompt is. Okay. You are a world-class direct response social media strategist, blending timeless principles of copywriting legends like Eugene Schwartz, Gary Halbert, Dan Kennedy into viral tactics of modern social media. Your goal is not to just get likes, but to drive measurable actions and results. Your task is to create a comprehensive 7-day social media calendar for insert your business name. The calendar must be a strategic mix of content designed to move followers through the different stages of awareness and persuade them to take actions. And then it gives them core frameworks, Gary Schwartz's 5 levels of awareness, and all of that stuff. This is a 1.5 page prompt that I could cut, that I can copy, drop into ChatGPT, put my business name in there, and let it go to work. And it'll give me a 7-day content calendar full of stuff that's optimized. That's the level of prompting that's going to differentiate you guys from being an average, I'm cheating on my midterms student. I'm utilizing this to write an essay for me student, to somebody that's actually utilizing this to do things that they may not be able or equipped to do by themselves.
Right.
And so when I talk about prompting, that's going to be the thing that separates it. And I'm reasonably sure that this is something that we're going to actually have to explain to people at our next presentation. Like there's different tiers to giving prompts to ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini or whatever.
There's even variances, and you know this, Brian, but there's variances on which LLM, which chat agent, Grok, Gemini, whatever, which one does best at certain things. It's
Right.
wild to me. I have been using ChatGPT for 3 years now. I'm now using Gemini quite a bit more because the output is better right now, and they're constantly changing. This is the problem.
Yeah.
We're still in the Wild West.
Yeah.
So you have to realize that too. But even that, don't just zero yourself into one platform. Use them all.
Use them all. And don't believe that there's that one. What is it? There's that one where that says you buy this and you get access to all the platforms. That is bullshit. Don't buy that
Yeah.
one. That is a
Yeah.
scam. That is a
Yeah.
scam. That is the scammiest scam of the scammers. You don't want that one. But
I found out a lot of people don't know that, if you're paying for the like Google Cloud, the $5 a month or whatever it is, you have Gemini Pro.
yeah,
You have the top tier, everything, right?
yeah. And
So
Gemini is amazing. The only thing that drives me crazy, Gemini is so good that it never shuts up. Like
yes.
you have to tell it, please limit your output to 30 seconds because it will talk for 5 minutes straight. And it
Yes.
will give you the most detailed answer that you didn't ask for about the most rudimentary question. But Gemini is probably going to be the one that surpasses everything because Google has unlimited amounts of money and unlimited access to data. Now, there's ethical considerations.
Yes.
We're probably gonna do a follow-up. We're gonna do a follow-up show about ethical considerations about
Right.
AI because even as marketers, even as people that are power users of those, we have our ethics about us with this because we're also creative people. And
Mhm.
so we do have red lines and stuff of AI and stuff. And some people don't. Like there's a lot of people that don't have any red lines about it. But
Yeah.
we'll probably do a follow-up one episode about ethics. We'll probably do a follow-up one about different platforms. We'll do a follow-up like this is I like I like this show and I like what we're doing here.
You know what would be fun? And this is just be a whole show of the dark side of like jailbreak. I mean, people are jailbreaking AI.
Oh wow.
You know what I mean? So it removes all the safety rails and they can utilize it that way. We could do a
Wow.
whole show on that it's kind of like the dark web, but dark AI.
Yeah. And the dangers, like they're like the scams that people are running are going to be next level. And so I tell people all the time, if you got fooled by this AI picture, please check your bank accounts because
Yeah.
it's only going
Well,
to
so
get worse
check
from
this
here.
out. I don't know if you've seen this, but a lot of people are using it and it's become a viral. I don't know if it's a trend, if you want to call it that, but like you order Grubhub or something, you get your burger and people are taking pictures of their burger, sticking it into AI and making the burger look raw and then getting their money back.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Right. That's like a popular thing that's going on right now,
Right.
which is wild to me.
Yeah, and it's like that to me. That's too much energy. Like I wouldn't put any. Like I get my $13 back. I don't care about that.
Right.
But I mean, these are the different things that are coming out, and so maybe I think the show would probably be something along the lines of how to protect yourself and
Yeah.
some of the things that people are doing. Because we have I have a whole social engineering thing that people like social engineering stuff that people are not aware of that absolutely is targeting business owners, and so we have that conversation locked and loaded too. Like this is going to have a lot of different legs. The idea behind this is, guys, we're trying to give you the tools that are going to allow you to succeed and maybe break some beliefs. Hopefully we broke some beliefs regarding how you perceive use of social media and what the opportunities really are. Hopefully we broke some beliefs about using AI and how you actually utilize it to get real outcomes as opposed to just what your kids are using it for to write essays for them in
Yeah.
their English class.
I'm not gonna lie. I've taken a couple pictures of the math book that my 12-year-old brings home because I don't understand what's going on because they don't do math like I did math. And take a picture and give it to ChatGPT and say, "Can you just give us the answer for this to figure it out so at least I understand how to tell my kid how to do it?"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm using it like that.
We got to talk about Notebook LM because I don't think people understand what kind of tool Notebook LM is. Notebook LM is one of the Google things. Notebook LM is a game changer if you are a nerd. If you like consuming information, Notebook LM will absolutely shift the way that you utilize social media. I use Notebook LM to power through very, very long form YouTube videos that are informative and create workbooks so that I can absorb the information a little bit better.
100%.
It is an amazing, powerful tool. And it's not your standard AI, but you can absolutely feed it videos and, hey, take this video and give me a workbook that I can use. Give me flashcards.
Yeah.
Give me stuff so that I can process this information and put it into my skull. And if you're not utilizing it, it can be a game changer. I've taken 6-hour long videos, fed them in a notebook LM and say, please just give me a workbook that I can use to learn. And I think it was branding. I think it was a 6-hour video about personal branding. And it was Alex Hormozy's guy, the guy who built Gary Vee and Alex Hormozy's brands. He has a 6-hour video on YouTube. Caleb. 6-hour video.
Ralston?
Yes.
Yeah.
6 hours, him just talking hardcore branding stuff. And I'm like, there is no way in God's name I'm going to sit here and watch this entire thing.
No.
But
I do it all the time.
Yeah. And I'll listen to it while I'm sleeping or like in that to kind of absorb it. But I just said, notebook LM, do your magic. Give me flashcards. Give me all the highlights. Give me a workbook that I can follow and a roadmap that I can follow to implement this thing.
Right.
And that's the tool. And so you don't just use it to cheat or feed you information. You can use it to help you consume knowledge a lot better and more efficiently.
Yeah.
And design it in a way that makes sense to your brain. There's so many opportunities out here, guys, and take advantage of this stuff while a lot of it is free. Take advantage of social media while it's free.
It's gonna be cost. It's gonna cost for sure.
Right.
Did you want to hit? I had like 4 things just to hit like the 2026 outlook real quick.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's knock it out.
All right. So, number 1, optimizing for AI assistance. So we kind of touched base on a lot of this stuff. So more people will ask their phone for moving forward or their computer, find me local service, plumber, HVAC, whoever, you know, in Omaha. Or that. So start thinking about optimizing for those things moving in 2026.
Yep.
Think about how AI would summarize you in one line, right? So you need to optimize for AI, since we're on that AI topic right now, and it's less about being these companies that are still out here selling you giant packages for SEO.
Please don't do that.
Please don't. Please don't.
Don't pay, guys. This might be an aside, Brian, but I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I do have to draw my line here. And I was working with the startup, and we were kind of weighing out. Are we doing the SEO? And I said, please don't. Please don't pay somebody to do a search engine optimization on your website that has no traffic. It's not going to change anything for you. It's like frosting on the cake. It's not going to make it. Sometimes frosting can transform the cake, but if the cake is terrible, the frosting ain't going to help a damn thing.
I'll take it one further.
Yeah.
I don't even care if you get on number 1.
Yeah.
You are still now 75% down the page.
Yeah.
Because they got AI results, video results, map results, sponsored results, then number 1, organic.
Yeah.
So, and they lost 40% of the market share because people are using AI to answer their search engine, and another 20% is going to be leaving soon for just social search. So optimize for AI, optimize for social searching. That would be my 2026 prediction of one thing to do.
That is probably one of the most valuable takeaways that we've had on all the entire show. Guys, when we say optimize for video, optimize for social, optimize for AI, what's basically saying is if you make a video on YouTube, post it on YouTube, and it answers a very specific question that somebody's searching for, it will pull your video into the search results. Yeah. And then in that video,
have your captions and stuff that's what the search engines are looking for, or the social algorithms are looking for. Like, so you want to say, like, in the first 3 seconds of your video, you know, I'm a plumber in Omaha, Nebraska, and I'm here today to show you XYZ or whatever, blah blah blah.
It will pull into the search results. And 100%. If you have your information on that, like if you have your information in the description, your contact information, you're shortening the path for them to get in contact with you. Guys,
and I'm gonna be honest, man. This right here is something that can get you cooking quick, because you will be way ahead of the game. Nobody's telling this. I haven't even seen this in more than a couple places, optimizing for social search. So
we got a
you'd
question.
Be ahead of the game.
We got a question. What role is AI going to play in the upcoming marketing era? Okay. So Bryan, I want you to give your take. I'll give my take. What role is AI going to play in the upcoming marketing era? Thank you, Simply
It's
Zero.
yes, thank you. I think we kind of spoke about it already. It's going to be the marketing assistant, the marketing employee. It's not going to be your chief marketing officer, your chief creative officer. Don't give it that role.
Yeah.
Treat it like an assistant, treat it like an employee, a marketing manager at most,
Mm-hmm.
right? You need to have the strategy. You can have it help you with these things. Don't take what I'm saying as something you can't do. You can have it give you ideas and you know those kinds of things. But the role that's going to play are twofold. It's that part, the strategy and the organization of behind the scenes stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and then the automation is where really AI is going to play the agents, the AI agents of like abandoned cart stuff like that, but sending text messages and sending emails and how that works when someone calls and you don't answer, and then it can send them a text or an email and say, sorry, we missed your call.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the AI integrations and automations that are going to be built into marketing moving forward 2026 and beyond.
And I think to add on to that, there's a couple of different wrinkles to it. So from a marketing agency standpoint, what I'm seeing is a lot of people are going like utilizing tools like Go High Level as opposed to hiring a
Right.
marketing team, because Go High Level has some AI stuff, AI flavored stuff built into it where it can spin up a
100%.
website. It can spin up a website. It can do automated follow up calls and send up follow up emails and stuff like that. And so you're going to see more platforms, more marketing platforms that have integrated AI pieces that are kind of sold together. Okay. That's one. Two, I don't know if you were here. I showed you guys what my prompt is as a marketer. Um, you guys, if you're a marketer, or if you're doing your own marketing, you need to master prompt engineering. You need to learn how to construct high level prompts. I'm selling them. You don't have to buy them from me. I have a bunch of prompts that I created that I run for my own stuff for. But um, having a concept of how to make complex instructions to create the outputs that you want as a marketer is going to be the thing that separates the regular users who just say, "Give me 5 social media posts for my Facebook page," versus if somebody says, "I want you to draw on the expertise of Gary Halbert and Dan Kennedy and Alex Mosey, and I want you to go on the internet, find their best parts of what their marketing strategies are, and I need you to integrate it into a social media sequence that walks people through the different stages of awareness and create posts like
100,000%.
that." So
So I would say 2026 belongs to the owners that combine AI efficiency with the human connection.
yeah,
Both, not one, not one or the other, but both of those things.
right.
That's who is going to win in marketing.
My prediction is we're going to see somebody screw this up royally, and they're going to take AI and they're going to try to make AI their chief marketing officer, their CMO, and it's
Hmm.
absolutely going to detonate their company.
Yeah.
And they're going to be scrambling to repair things. I see that coming up. And I think that there's going to be somebody that doesn't quite understand, and it's going to be somebody high level, somebody who has a lot of money. I think that's probably what we're going to see, because
I think that may have been where Cracker Barrel's logo rebrand came from.
I think so too.
I'm,
You're,
I'm speculating,
yeah,
but it made zero sense to do what they did.
you're going to see somebody absolutely botch this in a fantastic way. Um, and I think you're going to see people that smartly implement it that you'll never even know. You'll never know that they're utilizing it because they've seamlessly merged the human creativity and instinct and awareness with AI's ability to access information and categorize information and and digest information and make it digestible for people. I think that's where you're going to see it. But I do think a lot of marketing agencies are going to be in trouble. I think a lot of website designers are probably going to be in trouble with tools
Hmm.
like Go High Level, where basically it's almost it's like ClickFunnels except it has AI attached to it, and it can do a
Right.
lot of different things. I think that, and you're going to start seeing more and more marketing agencies where that's all they sell.
Yeah.
They're selling Go High Level installations.
All right. I got two more. So
Go for it.
we can probably make our time on the call or whatever.
Yep.
Private communities, and I call it living room marketing.
Hmm.
So this is what we already talked about. People are tired of public comment wars, feed dramas, stuff like that. more interactions I already have, but they're moving more to DMs, group chats, private communities. So VIP text lists, Facebook groups, school communities, Discord servers, things like that. That's where it's moving. So start thinking about building a community of your clients or customers rather than trying to spit it out to the world and having all that negative energy
Yeah.
and drama. You know what I mean? So that's another thing.
Yep. And there's one thing, Facebook is lagging in a lot of things, but they were really future. The thing that they got that was future tech for them is the idea of the Facebook group.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're seeing iterations of a paid Facebook group, Circle, School, all those other platforms. That's where business is getting done, y'all. And so build a community of people that are aligned with you, and they'll do business with you.
And the third thing is it goes back to something we already touched base on as well, but reiterating it here as the 2026 prediction: in-app checkout and social e-commerce. Right, so more buying will happen without ever visiting a full website.
Yep.
Through Meta ads or through Meta Reels, you'll be able to wear Meta glasses, walk around, and click your Ray-Bans and buy stuff.
Yep.
TikTok selling that Brian alluded to, YouTube Shorts. What's it called?
Embedded ads. What was it? The embedded ads that you saw watching the Eagles game.
That one. What's the selling platform?
Whatnot.
Whatnot. That one. Stuff like that. For local service businesses, this can look like, doing your Reels content with trying to sell directly, because you can add that stuff like call me and do stuff like that. So live, it's a little different than live selling, but being able to contact you and set up and book appointments through social directly rather than going to your website.
Right. And nobody wants to see your website. Sorry, guys. Sorry, y'all.
All right.
Nobody wants to see your website anymore. They want to solve their problem. And if your website requires them to take too many steps, that's the last thing I will throw in there. I think we're going to see the death of the complicated sales funnel, or the obviously complicated sales funnel, where it takes you through all these qualifying steps and filtering steps and all that stuff. People don't want to do that anymore. They don't want to go through all those clicking and all that stuff to get to their answer. If you can provide the answer as quickly as possible, you're going to be the one that wins the sale more times than not. I think we're seeing on social media, and specifically, you look at Facebook and whatnot, you see everybody on Facebook has digital creator in their title. That's the world we're moving into.
Yeah, that's wild to me.
Your grandma has digital creator next to her name on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? So everybody is jumping into the space. The ones that know how to utilize the tools to get the outcomes are going to be the ones that win the sales. So,
and you alluded to this. So I'll say one more thing, and then I'll step off.
Yep.
You alluded to this already a little bit. The tools have never been cheaper or more powerful than they are right now. So the cost now is the discipline and the clarity, not access. Everybody has access to the right tool.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my closing statement is like, utilize what you got and available now. It's the Wild West. That's a good thing for business. It's a good thing for small businesses. It lets you work on the same level, playing field as the big Fortune 5 companies, right? You can use AI just like they can use AI.
For $20 a month on ChatGPT, you can create a custom GPT that you fed all the information that you can access to it to give it a specific personality, specific task. I have mine that is my AI copywriter that has all my 10 years of marketing experience fed into it, and it writes stuff the way I write stuff. And all I got to do is go through and do some editing, give it a little bit of shape in the instructions, and we're ready to go. For $20 a month, you can have access to an online version of yourself.
Yeah, cloning your own brain.
That clones your own
business brain.
And so, guys, that's what we got. If you like this, leave us a like on the different platforms that you see us on. I think me and Brian are probably gonna do this again. This is really good stuff.
Yeah, I can talk shop all day, man. So
yeah. And I think for business owners, specifically for the ones in our circle, y'all need to be watching this, because
100%.
You guys want to ask us, like you want to ask us and stuff in public and stuff. That's fine, but this is where me and Brian can get into the weeds of stuff and possibly give you more in-depth answers to your questions. So access it while it's free. So
Yeah.
that's all I got, guys. Bryan, I appreciate you tuning on. I'm gonna touch base with you real quick because I gotta pick up kids at school and stuff like that too.
Same.
But we're gonna sign off here. And then we will let you guys know when we're back on here. Hopefully, I'll be back on Facebook. Be out of Facebook jail. Be back on
Appreciate it,
Facebook.
everybody.
Yep. Thanks for tuning in. Talk to you guys
Thank
later.
you.
Thanks, Josh. Talk to you later.